Right. Good morning, sixth graders. So your lesson is on factoring algebraic expressions. And I love this work. I think it was a ton of fun when I did algebra. Okay, I have two different cards here. There's two different ways to that we're going to do this. We're going to one is going to be where we are using the distributive property to solve these expressions, and then this card, the ones that are in pink, are where we're going to be factoring these expressions. Now remember, an expression does not have an equal sign. It just basically is going to have numbers and letters, but there is no equal sign, okay? So there's really nothing to solve. It's not like we're going to be solving for these letters or anything. You know, there's not going to be a V equals or Z equals. We're just simplifying or extending these expressions. An equation, however, always has an equal sign or you need to solve it. These are just called expressions. Okay, so these are algebraic expressions. So, I remember when we did foiling, remember this? We had this thing like x plus 2, right? And we did this, we took the x, and we went x times this, and we took the outside, right? We were writing these down, remember that? And then we did the inside, and then we did the last. Well, this kind of goes along with that. This, like how we took the x and we distributed it to the other x, and then we distributed it to the 2. That's kind of the same thing that we're going to do here. The distributive property is taking a number or letter, and we are distributing it to other numbers and other letters. So let me give you an example. So I'm going to do this first one here. It says 11, and then it's times, remember that the parentheses means times, 7 plus 8a. So we are going to go 11 times 7 plus 8a. So just like before, when we took x times x and x times 2, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to take the 11 times 7, which is 77, right, plus, and then we're going to take the 11 and we're going to multiply it by the 8a, which is 88a. And that's it. That's all the work. That's the whole work right there. That's all you got to do. Because if we had, something like equals, I don't know, 512, then we would be able to try and solve it, right? We would do, just like algebra, we would take the 77 away from here, and if we do it over here, we got to take 77 away from here, and then we find, 88 times a number is equal to, whatever was left over here. Well, we don't have to worry about that, okay? Because there's no equal sign, so there's nothing to solve. The only thing that you have to do is this. You're taking this number and you're distributing it to the 7, and then you're going to distribute it to the 8a. That's all the distributive property is you're taking numbers and you're timesing it by, or maybe adding it to another number, okay? Very, very simple. Now this other one, so that's the orange cards, okay? So for example, if I had that number 2 there, I would take the 10, and I would take 10 times 4x, and then I would take 10 plus 12v, then I would take 10 times 11, and I would just write down the answers that I got for each one, and that's it. That's all you have to do for these, okay? And now we're going to come over to these pink cards, and now you are going to take these expressions and you're going to change them into this. Now this is also pretty easy. So I am going to do, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to try number 2a. I'm going to try this one right here. 121u plus, what is that, 55? Yeah. All right. This also is extremely simple. Okay. So now I'm going the other way. I'm going to be factoring. So remember, I'm looking for numbers. Remember, factors are numbers that go into other numbers. So if, for example, if I say, what are the factors of 8? it would be 1 and 8, right? 1 times 8 gives me 8, and 2 and 4, right? 2 times 4 gives me 8. So 1 and 8 and 2 and 4 are factors of 8. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So I have 121 and I have 55. What is the highest number that goes into 121 and 55? So it's one number that goes into both of those. Well, I know that it's 11, right? 11 times 11 will give me 121, and 11 times 5 will give me 55. So I know that my number is 11. So I'm going to write down 11 right here, okay? Times, okay, so 11 times 11, I said, right? And then I can't forget about that U. Okay, so 11 times 11 is 121U, plus I have 5. So 11 times 5 would give me 55. So I took this expression and I kind of expanded it out, okay? So I found the number that would go into both 121 and 55, and I pulled it out, okay? So I kind of did the opposite. Kind of like when I had, if you remember foiling, when we had to kind of break those things apart. Remember, we'd have like an equation like x times 2 plus 6x plus 5 or something like that, right? You remember that? We'd have to like separate them out. So it would be like x and x, which would be the x squared, okay? And then we had plus, plus. Remember I said it has to have a number that when you add it together, it would give you 6, but when you multiplied it together, it would give you 5. So you had 1 and 5. So that's kind of what we're doing here. We're kind of breaking it apart. Okay, let's try one more. So let's try this number 4 down here. 20t and 28. So 20t, whoops, sorry. I don't like that. 20t plus 28. So I need to think to myself, well, what's the highest number that goes into both 20 and 28? Well, it's going to be 4, right? 4 times 5 would give me 20, and 4 times 7 would give me 28. So it's 4. So then I think about it. Well, 4 times 5, right, gives me 20. So there's my 20t plus, what's that going to be? 7, right? 4 times 7 is 28. So there it is. So now I've broken that one apart, just like that. Okay? So that's all you really have to do. I don't know. I want you to do a number of these. I don't remember how many I have. I think I have, I don't know, 14 of each. Something like that. I think so. 14 or something like that. So, I mean, like I said, these aren't going to be too hard, so I think if you just do like 10 of each, something like that. I have it on your work plan, so all you have to do is write your answers down in your notebook, and then I believe I do have a check for this. So, again, guys, these are pretty easy. If you have any questions, you can always email me. Okay, thanks.